We're back. I'm Jimmy C, host of the Instapreneur podcast, and today I got on a good buddy, Mr. Jordan. Jordan, thanks for coming on, my man.
I appreciate you, man. Jimmy, come on, man.
How are you doing?
We ain't, go back to college days. We go back way back.
Yeah, so I actually met Jordan. I call him JB. Someone call him JB. I met JB back at school at Fort Lewis College, where we were just playing basketball one day, and you probably knew everyone. And I think, when did you transfer there? Actually,
Like 2013, I think.
Okay, so
2013, 2014. I was there. I think I was there like a year before you got there.
yeah, I was gonna say maybe a year before I got there. So, yeah, so I transferred there, and you transferred there. Did you know anyone when you transferred there?
I know.
You didn't know no one. Okay, neither did I.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I knew one person, but like barely. It was my good friend's little brother.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so I was kind of in the same boat. But we met hooping, and then I don't know. We kind of just from hooping and intramural sports, we kind of just got along, and then I stay in touch with a lot of people, and we're here today.
Yep, same thing.
Same thing. But so JB's got his own little business called, what's it called? Rarity Lifestyle?
Bro, big business.
Big business. What is it called?
It's called Rarity Lifestyle.
All right, so what is it?
It's a lifestyle brand, so it's really an umbrella for so many different things, from athletics to music to just overall empowerment, like just trying to empower ourselves and just live this life the best way we can.
Cool. Yeah, no, so I found out about that. I don't know if were you doing that while we were in school?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I was doing that. It was just difficult doing it up there, in Durango, because it's not really a industrial and commercial town, but
No, I hear you. So
right.
I mean, we haven't talked for a while, so it's doing good though. Oh shit.
It's definitely doing well, on the way, just learning kind of getting business experience, firsthand, like not what we learn in school, not the business books, like it's not like that. So so it's a lot of trial and error and just figuring out what works for my business model or creating a business model. So.
No, I can relate to that. Just with me starting a business and doing things, it's a lot of trial and error. And like you said, like there's no like book on how to do it.
No.
Like your experience.
That's a business in itself.
Yeah. Your experience starting a business is, probably different than mine. And like, there's a million setbacks you can have, but that's part of it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Have you had, would you say you've had a lot of setbacks in the process?
Setbacks with the business side of it,
Or just anything.
but I do feel like I've left a lot of success on the table just because of being, what you would say, like unknowledge,
Right.
not having knowledge of this, like, not having the knowledge of running a successful business, or not having anybody to really understand who has done it before.
Right.
So in that case of things I do better, but not anything that is not with like a detriment, like.
Right. Well, so the way I look at things is, and who I get mentored by Jason, but we talk about there's not like, you can't really, well, you can fail, but we look at it more as like, if you fail, you learn from it. So like in your case, it's that whatever happened, it sounds like you said you left some success on the table, but in reality, the way I look at it is like, you just learn for next time, or, what'd you say?
I said, just double up. I ain't leaving on the table. It's just, compounds.
Yeah, exactly. Compound interest for sure. But no, yeah, I mean, definitely. And what I meant too, not just like struggles in business, I just meant like in general, because I'll elaborate, is like for me, for instance, in starting my online dog training business, the business itself is doing good, but like so for instance, me, like I am that business. So like if I go through some shit, then it like slows down the process. So that's kind of what I meant, more like ups and downs.
So definitely, because trying to express, like, in my standpoint, it's like I try to wear a bunch of different hats, so You know, the music is my main thing. That's my passion, and that's like really my talent. You know, so but then I understand alongside with the music, the business is important because
Right.
I can make the music as much as I want, but the business is gonna allow me to sustain myself. So balancing that and not getting burnt out, and you know, like and that happens. You get burnt out and you just don't feel like doing anything. So
Right.
much on the table, and you just kind of like, you know,
Overwhelmed.
overwhelmed. But then it's like,
You
it's
gotta
like
keep.
working out. You know, one
Uh-huh.
day you're gonna go crazy, you're gonna go super hard, and you're gonna be dog tired. But after that point, you just built a threshold for yourself, so you can keep going.
Right. No, that's good. But so, getting a little off, well, not off topic, but just kind of on what you were saying about burnt out. So, what have you found that's a good way if you're burnt out to get back on track?
The thing is, like for that, it's like more like I feel like it's a wave, you know, like a wave of that burnt outness, and it's like, yeah. So it's like you got to kind of ride that wave out. You know, you got to understand, don't get too hard on yourself in that, because during that burnt out time, you might go through depressive times, and you know, you just low energy.
Right.
So kind of making sure you like giving yourself the permission to go through it. You know what I
No,
mean?
I know what you mean, and the reason why I elaborated on it is because recently, like, I kind of hit that with my shit. Like, I had some problems where actually I had a lot of data that I backed up to an external hard drive, and the external hard drive fucked up.
Right.
And so now, like, I've taken a couple weeks off
Mm-hmm.
because of that. I need those files and I'm trying to get them back. And it's like, but like you said, don't get too hard on yourself and kind of just like ride the wave. And like the wave's kind of like pummeling me at the moment, but I'm still just like, I'm taking it and just like chill, take a break and come back.
You know, I understand that, right? Just breathe. You know, like you're allowed to feel like this. You're allowed to just kind of like give yourself time to recover. You know, just go into your happy place, or go to wherever you feel comfortable and just kind of recover. You know.
No, I love that, and it's crazy that this came up because we didn't talk about this before this, but it's
Yeah.
interesting because that's like I was just there / I'm still kind of getting out of it, but that's one thing that I definitely learned is like you're gonna go up and you're gonna be like feeling it for months at a time, and you just gotta like get that shit done, and then you might come down a little bit,
Yeah.
and you just gotta kind of sit in it and
That's
absorb it.
exactly. You just gotta take it. You
Yeah,
really just gotta absorb it. You really just gotta, just let it pass. It's gonna pass. So
right, definitely.
go from
Cool.
that, you know.
I'm glad we agree and have experienced similar things. But anyways, so back to the music. So for people who don't know, obviously, because most people on here don't really know you, what is exactly like? I know when we first met, I thought you were just making beats, but now you're making music. So tell me a little bit about like what you're kind of creating.
I mean, so during that whole process, it was kind of just, me enjoying the music, and I made beats because, I want to, I don't always want to have to be at the forefront of things. I want to help support other people in their dreams, and I had the talent to make it, playing the piano and everything. So, but it kind of just transformed into something of me becoming my own artist. Like I'm JBNZO, that's kind of how people who don't really know me are gonna know me. So that's it developed from me starting making beats. That was kind of like the scratch, the level one,
Hmm.
the Pidgey, like
Leveled up. You leveled up since
you
last
know,
time I knew.
and he said we all have.
Yeah.
So that was the process. I never knew because I didn't really want to be an artist. I didn't really want to be somebody who stood out. I played ball and that was me. And so I was like, I'm a football player, and then kind of that transition into all right, I make beats. Okay, I make hooks. Okay, I'm making full songs now. And
Yeah.
then it's kind of like, well, from the business, I'm always thinking like business side of things, like, well, I can do these people is making millions of dollars out here. And I have the talent and the passion and love for music regardless. So I could just learn how to monetize my music and even influence, by just having correct business principles.
Right.
Like
No, I got you, man. It's crazy because I didn't realize how the music industry worked, and I have a couple friends who make music, and I've learned a lot more in the last year. And it's
Yeah.
crazy, like how much of a business, obviously it is a business, but like
Mm-hmm.
for someone like myself who's never experienced that, I just like look at it like that's a dope song. Like you don't think of everything that goes behind it.
Right. There's so many dope songs that go unheard. There's so many legends who go unheard because they have no business, like
Right.
they don't
Business
have
side doing.
no business knowledge, no business savvy. Like you have to understand, like in the competition of the, everything going on.
Especially now with all the social media.
There's so much competition out there, but with business principles, everybody could be successful.
Right.
So,
No, but I like what you said about there's a lot of, people who haven't been discovered or whatever. Like I look at it the same way with my business, like, or any business, anyone, you can have the best, mine's online dog training. So I could have the best dog training,
yes,
but if I don't know how to market it or get it in front of people, then it doesn't matter.
it doesn't do anything for us.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Well, I'll have to check out, you have some songs out then?
Yeah, man. I actually have something developed with my first project. My
Oh,
first
no.
project, I really want to package in the right way and promote nationally.
Hell
So
yeah. Hell yeah. So it's not, so you don't have like your song is not out yet. It's in the works. I
so
just want,
you could go to YouTube now and you can hear my songs. I upload it. I upload so I can kind of keep on a process.
right.
But I get them mixed and mastered, and then I release them. Release them as I see fit. So
Oh, cool. Cool. Hell yeah, dude. That's dope. Well, yeah, I like hearing friends shit. So I never really checked out your stuff, so I'll check it out. But also, you have to keep me updated when it comes out. Well, that's cool. So now then, would you say you're kind of more focused on making your own music as opposed to beats then
I
for other
mean,
people? For other people, or
I'm
is
always producing first
okay,
because that's how it starts. That's how I start making the tracks. So
gotcha.
I kind of if I feel a beat that I make and I really can vocalize on it, I will. But some of the times I organize them. Beats for
Gotcha.
somebody else, beats for myself, beats for.
Gotcha. I got you. Yeah, no, that's cool. I'm trying to learn more about the music stuff too, because like
Yeah.
not saying I'm ever trying to, be the next Eminem, but I told myself one day I want to create one song.
You never know, man.
You, you never know, man. Like you said, you started doing it just for fun or whatever, and then it turned into what it is.
It is, and then it is what it is. It is what it is now.
Cool. So also with the Rarity Lifestyle, you've got a clothing line, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If I remember right, you're rocking the hat right now, right?
Right now, this is the classic. This is the classic Rarity Lifestyle hat. We got different colors.
So what does that say there? It's hard to see on mine, just so
We
people can know.
create the rules.
We create the rules. Is that your company like slogan or motto or?
Slogan, it's always, it's our slogan, and we're gonna hold that to for a long time.
Hell yeah. So I have a hat too. If you can
Oh
see it,
yeah.
it says we create the rules. It's a winter hat. I
Yep.
rock this, dude. I've had multiple people comment on the we create the rules. They liked it.
Oh yeah.
Some friends and shit. So that's dope.
Yep.
So what do I know you create hats. Do you create anything else?
Yeah. I actually screen print myself, so I come up with ideas and screen print, and just I make products for myself to wear and for other people to wear. But we're taking steps, to
Yeah.
to professionalize it.
Right. So you're trying to make it like and do like a big line then?
Big business, man. Like trying to, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, big business, yeah.
No,
So
that's dope. I know we've talked before about, how you do some things because like eventually I wanted to have some kind of line between this brand and like my
yeah,
online dog brand and just,
yeah.
but yeah, that's dope. So if someone right now wanted to buy a fucking hat, where would they go? How do they
Make
do it?
RarityLifestyle.com.
RarityLifestyle.com. You can just buy it through there and it ships
Yeah,
and everything.
yep, all of it. So
Oh, okay, cool. Well, I'll post that when we're done. I'll post that in the bio in case anyone trying to load up on some cool shit.
hey, man.
So tell me a little bit about that process though. Like was that hard? Like creating your own clothes and getting that shit out?
No, I mean, the thing is, like, the business side is always the difficult part. Like, the other side of it is just kind of like, it was really because I wanted to rock the stuff I wanted to rock. You know, I really wanted to wear the stuff I wanted to wear without, you know, without seeing somebody else's brand on it.
I
You know,
got
I wanted to see my own brand because people were charging. Like, you know, you see, you know, like the Kanye stuff, you know, it's a $120 t-shirt, or, you know, other brands that charge expensive amounts. And I'm
right,
like, well, I can do that myself,
right.
you know.
No, I
So,
mean that's a good mindset to have.
but then
Hopefully one day you're selling them for maybe not that much, but some.
not too much. I'm not gonna disrespect the client, but
Yeah,
I'm not gonna disrespect a customer, you know, by charging too much, but understand the luxury that goes
right.
with making these products.
Do you ever do any of those? I don't even know what they're called, like a fashion show out anywhere with
Pop-ups. I haven't done a fashion show.
or
Um,
I was one of our buddies who does music. I don't even know what you call it. He was singing at the event, and it was like a fucking. There's like 3 different like brands, but
okay.
they were kind of like not similar to like yours, but it was like, like something like that. So they just had like a bunch of models walk down the thing. I didn't know if you ever did that or something.
I haven't done that yet. You know, when I do it, I want to be, I want to be certified and ready. You know,
Right, right, right.
and,
Yeah, I don't even know how those things go. I mean, like this one was at like a bar. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, is that how they do it?
I mean, you could do whatever. You know,
I don't know.
you create the rules, but you know, there's definitely etiquette behind all this shit.
Well, I was just thinking to myself, I was like, it's a Saturday night at a bar. Like, are you going to get that many potential people? But I don't know. You know what I mean? Like
I'd rather that than nothing.
no, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
But
that's why we're here.
it definitely is, because you know some people might do it at a bar, but a lot of people choose a venue. You get like a event, the
Right.
level to it, and then you get to like you go out of town and go to these fashion shows in different countries, like Milan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean Milan is cracking. I went to Milan this summer, but fashion capital,
Oh,
you know.
really? Yeah.
Yeah, fashion capital probably in the world.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's different. You know, everybody's. Yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, there's a million ways to do things, and I have no idea how to do that. But I didn't know if you ever done that. So speaking of Milan, though, were you there? Were you? I know over the summer you were somewhere. I thought it was Greece,
Yeah.
and you were posting some cool videos and pictures of you making music and working over
Yeah.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Was
So
that more of a fun trip or a work trip?
I mean, it was definitely a fun trip, a vacation, but also at the same time making sure I would embrace those
You,
experiences and created something that I could bring back. I was in Greece. I went to Santorini. Was in Greece, Athens, and
okay.
then ended up in Italy, and then ended up in London. But definitely opened my eyes to just from a business standpoint, opened my eyes to like the uncharted territories that people don't even see.
Isn't it crazy how like I'm actually Greek. I'm half Greek, but I
Wow.
never been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I want to go there. But isn't it crazy how like you travel like that and it's like opens your eyes, especially like growing up in probably like LA or like
Yeah.
grew up in Chicago, like even Durango changed my eyes.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, definitely being out there and seeing the different lifestyle, seeing the different people, seeing the different, it was different from home, so then you really see everybody's kind of just living their own means, and living their own way. So
And how and just like what I noticed is just like the different cultures. Like
different.
some of
Yeah.
our friends from Durango or from like Alaska, like dude, they don't know sarcasm. So I'd come in and
Right, right.
I'm sarcastic is like a lot,
Yeah, take
and
it disrespect.
they take it. Yeah, they take it personal. But going back to your travels, so was it hard for you to balance like fun while traveling and working?
No, it, it's part of that. It's a part of the discipline, man. Just always, I committed myself. I was like, I'm gonna do something every day while I'm out there. Like I'm gonna commit myself to either making a beat every day or making a song every day or making, some type of connection or whatever it is every day while
Gotcha.
I'm out here. Take advantage of the opportunity.
No, that's cool. And the reason I ask is because like I've always like, at some point I wanted to go travel for, I don't know how long, but like weeks to months at a time but like still have to get shit done. So
Yeah.
like, I know when you're in places like that, like it's probably hard or it can be hard just because like you said, lack of dedication or, you know, you're looking at the freaking ocean. Like,
Yeah, just you just want to chill, like man, fuck all of this shit, I'm
yeah.
like good now.
But I feel like for me, actually, I don't know about for you, but like for me, when I'm in certain places, like it actually like, I feel like it motivates me more to like work while looking at I haven't worked and looked at the ocean, but like, like when I was in Durango recently, I was on the mountain, like editing videos, and it was pretty cool to just like, I don't know. I never done that.
No, I agree with you. Just that, just right being in places like that, you just kind of see how good it is. You just kind of see the I don't even know the grandiose. Is that the word?
I
Like
don't know, like soaking it all in, like,
you're soaking on in, you want more of it. So it's like
yeah.
I have to work as hard as possible so I can experience this stuff like when I want to on my terms. Like
See, that's no, that's a big thing that I'm a fan of is like I've been working hard trying to do certain things so I can do kind of like what you're talking about, what you did, like so you can have the luxury of working like in Greece or in
right.
Italy or London like when you want.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people what I like that in my experience, like a lot of people will judge you or me for like working a lot, but it's all for a reason. Like I'm trying to achieve those kind of things.
Right.
Not everyone might want that, which is fine,
It's
but
fine, but
go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I was agreeing with you. Like it's fine, but for those of us who do want it, you
Yeah.
got you got to go get it.
Yeah. Like, hey, I don't judge you, so don't judge me. I mean, hey, I guess you can judge me, but yeah, but that's the thing. It's not always easy too. Cool. But no, so you grew up or changing the subject a little bit, you grew up in LA.
Yeah, Los Angeles, South Central.
So how is that growing up? I mean, like I don't know much about LA. I was there last year for a few days, but traffic sucks. I say that.
Yeah,
But
traffic is atrocious, but
it was like you grew up in a pretty like good area, bad area, or
I mean, it's home. It's home, so everything is pretty good. Everything is pretty
yeah,
much what it is. But no, I grew up. I don't know you know Nipsey Hussle, right? You heard
yeah,
the Nipsey
yeah.
Hussle. Like I'm three blocks down. You know what I mean? Three, 4 blocks down from that situation. So it's kind of like that kind of hit home.
Yeah,
You know, I'm not you know in the hood or nothing like that.
right,
Stuff like that. But I do understand what
right.
goes
It's
just
around.
from being that close. But
Yeah,
growing up in LA, you just see everything. It's a melting pot too. But you just kind of learn how to you get like an urban. You learn the urban lifestyle, and being in LA, you see a lot. It's everything is close. LA, like you could be in the hood 5 minutes later, you in uh, a good prestigious area. So it's everything's kind of mixed. So you see the whole spectrum. You see the richest people, you see the poorest people, and
got
you kind of choose from there. You choose what you want from that spectrum. You see,
yeah. No, it's crazy. Like even in just I was in LA for a few days and I saw a lot of like crazy stuff. I mean, like you said, I was in, I would say, a nicer area, but like I still saw like the spectrum just from driving to the gym and stuff. But
Where,
definitely interesting, huh?
where were you at?
I was in Sherman Oaks.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. So how far is that from you?
Maybe like 45 minutes.
Okay.
Maybe not
Yes.
not even. I say 45 minutes in LA travel with traffic. So
Yeah. So 20 minutes.
yeah,
15 minutes. But
yeah.
yeah, no, I was there last year. Actually, today I would have probably been coming back. I was there to go visit my buddy Mario, whose podcast is airing right after we're done here. But yeah, I was out there to be on his cooking show, and yeah, so he's out there doing some cool, dope shit. But and his roommate actually does music too,
Oh, cool.
and their friends they produce music out, yeah, out there. So I think I don't know what it would be called. They're like their business is like called like Third Brain, I think.
Oh,
They
okay.
manage like Cruella. And then, or they did. I don't know if they still do. Yeah, I don't know. And then some other up and coming. Thutmose. Do you know who Thutmose is?
Bug most never heard
Bro, I gotta send you his shit, bro. He's good.
I'm always open to the new stuff, man.
He's good, man. He's got a cool story too. But yeah, going back to culture and growing up in, like, I think you said being urban. I mean, I grew up in the suburbs. I'm 20 minutes with no traffic from the city, so I've seen both sides of it. You know, I didn't grow up in the hood or anything, but what I will say is, for me, Durango was a huge, like, culture shock. Was it for you too,
So I mean,
or no?
the thing is, like you said, like, I grew up around the hood, but also I was in a good area to see the other side of it, the prestigious, the wealth, but then
Right.
also a private Catholic school, Loyola. And I've seen a whole nother wave of, prestigiousness and wealth and, different types of families. Like, and then went to Michigan State and then seen a completely different,
Yeah.
so I kind of been through the gambit of, like, seeing different things. So when I got to Durango, I was just kind of like, everybody is everybody, so
Right.
it's just kind of like,
Yeah.
it's just kind of human connection, it's just kind
Yeah.
of human communication. You kind of see the similarities between people, even outside of cultures.
No, I got you. Would you say that, like, out of any of those, so between Michigan State, like LA, and Durango, did you have a favorite? Or, I mean, obviously LA's home, but as far as, because, like, where I'm going with this, I guess let me explain, is, like, for me, like, when I'm here, it's so high pace, and that's LA. And I don't know about Michigan State, but, like, in Durango, man, it's like you're getting mad for people going under the speed limit.
You are. It's crazy. No, I mean, definitely, like, each phase was kind of like important. Like, LA was definitely allowed me to see the bigger picture, the bigger world, how many people are in it, like, even bringing it back to business, like, how competitive stuff is,
Yeah.
in every industry. But then Michigan State, took me to the, just learning myself, like, growing up and doing all that stuff. And then, Durango, it slowed everything down. So learning how to meditate, like, Durango is where I learned how to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's like I tapped into spirituality in Durango.
No,
Like,
that's a good thing, man. I just kind of tapped into that recently, but I guess I should have while I was there. I didn't even
it
think.
was empty. It was empty. You know what I mean? Like, everything was so slow. You couldn't do anything but sit with yourself and,
I know.
figure that
It,
stuff.
it's the one thing that got me about there, for people who don't know Durango, it's a small town in southern Colorado. But, dude, everything would close after like 8.
It
If
was
you wanted food, you're like McDonald's, and I don't eat that really. So, hey, fuck.
Sonic.
What'd you say, Sonic?
Sonic was the go-to.
Dude, every time I go to Sonic, I'd go there a little bit. Like, yeah, but
Yeah.
we more went to McDonald's, but
Right.
I try not to eat that anymore.
I used to smash all that stuff, man, and then I don't want to look back on stuff. Like, like,
You don't eat that stuff anymore, though, do you?
I mean, I do sometimes. I'm not really, I try to improve my diets, but I like the taste of stuff.
Well, yeah, you'll still have it, but, like, overall, you eat pretty good? Or?
I eat pretty good. I try to, I'm trying to learn how to prepare this stuff myself and be conscious,
Right.
conscious of everything I'm putting in my body. But I'm gonna eat an In-N-Out burger and I'm gonna eat some fried chicken and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've found, for me, I actually, like, kind of enjoy it more now that I don't eat it a lot.
Exactly. Yeah.
When I do crave it, bro, it's like, it's fire,
Yeah, definitely. I'm not gonna sacrifice. There's a limit.
Yeah. You gotta treat yourself every so often.
Yeah.
Dope. All right, switching subjects a little bit. So you were talking about you played football.
Yeah.
So you played, for those of you who don't know, you played at Michigan State,
Michigan State. Yeah.
and then before you transferred to Durango. How was playing D1? Were you there for a whole season, or I know?
I was there for 3.
Oh, 3.
I was there for 3 seasons, but like, I tore my ACL my senior year of high school, so I went to Michigan State, kind of healing my knee, and then tore my ACL at the bowl season for my freshman year.
Oh shit.
So it was like a year in there. That's a year recovery. So I tore it. A year went by, and I finally came back and was practicing during bowl season, and a year went again. So I missed pretty much another whole season. But that was like one of the best experiences, just being an athlete, just kind of seeing how just how everything works, like but the hard work and the reward. That was kind of the thing, like the most to this day, the most visible. Like if you put the work in, you will get the results out.
Right.
You know, like just that was the most kind of like best example for me to see.
And you probably carried that over to business now, huh?
Have to, I have to. I honestly try to take that and just kind of transfer it over. Like, all right, what is practice in business?
Yeah.
What is that? Because it's like you have to do that every day. Like so like, we all set up our systems. We have to practice every day. The greats practice in the morning and they practice in the evening, they practice in the middle.
Yeah.
So how does that apply to your business? Like understanding that stuff, like even playing with like Le'Veon Bell or, people like that. It's like they live and sleep and breathe, that sport, and
Yeah.
you have to.
Yeah.
And you have to do it with everything
Yeah.
So
No, I agree. I mean, like, just like working out for me or, sports, like looking back to my last sport I played was varsity lacrosse my senior year. And it's like the same shit, man. It's like every day lifting, or maybe not every day, but most days lifting and then practice. And like, like just the jump from like JV to varsity. And then I can't even imagine, D1 football, like
it's a huge jump. And
just
then you think the jump from college to the NFL. See, I ain't experienced that, but I'm sure it was a monster jump. It was like
just the
all the
games
players from all the best teams
from everywhere.
from everywhere. So you really got to be at the top of your game.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I kind of translate that into business too. So like when you said what's practicing business, I mean, there's a lot of aspects to business, especially like for someone like you or myself who like has I'm starting my own, you have your own, but like you have to wear so many different hats. So like for me, a year ago right now, I would not really be able to edit videos. Now I can edit videos, make websites, create funnel, like all these things. How did I learn that? Dude, it's like I just jumped into it. If we're relating it to sports, it's like I'm a tight end and like you're the receiver who gets hurt and they put me in, dude. They're like, figure it out.
You know how to do it. You got to know that.
So you just jump. That's how I learn, at least. I kind of jump into things. I probably don't do shit like the right way, but like my videos are pretty cool. You know what I mean?
I agree with you though, man. I was like, I'd rather jump into it and stop talking about it and just do it than talking about it and not do it. I'd rather learn from experience than learn from, contemplation. You know what I'm saying?
No, but for real, man, that's why I created this podcast. So, like, I've wanted to create this for like a year, and I just kept pushing it off. Like, I got a lot on my plate, this, that, and the other. And then I was actually meditating one day, and I'm like, dude, you got to do this right now. And I created an episode the next day.
Wow, yeah, that's cool.
Like, I'm still not doing things like, I mean, right now it's very, it's just on YouTube. Like I got to find a website to host it and like where I want to host it and blah, blah, blah. And like different things. Because then I could get it on Spotify and like iTunes and some, I don't know, maybe other places. But yeah, I think it's like, for me, it's like you just jump into it and you figure it out as you go. I mean, right now you're in LA, I'm in Chicago. Look at my setting. We're just both in rooms of our house. Like I got pretty shitty lighting. Like right now, there's no like. I know these things, but it's like it's early on. It's informal right now. I mean, who knows where this goes? If it ever goes anywhere, I might be sitting in a studio with professional lighting and Joe Rogan or something.
Wherever your imagination goes, man, it could go. Like,
That's another thing, man, that I've learned, and maybe tell me your thoughts. Like, is when you visualize things and you tell yourself you're gonna do it, like you do it.
you do it, man. It's kind of like, it's just the more you can tap into yourself and just creating those images and being confident with your goals, the more you can create this stuff. Like, you can say anything, any goal, and you can make anything happen. You just got to know what you want to do.
It's true though. Like And where I relate to this, because I think a lot of people are like closed-minded, and I've really become a lot more open-minded in the last year.
Mhm.
And talking to people that know a lot about what we're talking about, like creating, visualizing things, it's wild. I relate it to sports. When you look at like the Super Bowl or the World Series or the basketball, anything, and they're like, I've always dreamt about this every day since I was a kid.
That's
That's
why.
just, if that's not a light bulb that goes off, what's any different between you and a business, or like your brand being the best, or, whatever.
It's like, what do you see? It's kind of like a compass, because if you see yourself as a small brand and you're just going to continuously be a small brand the whole time, you're going to move differently.
Right.
You're going to move as a small brand through your entire time.
Right.
If you see yourself as a big brand, you see yourself as a big business, as big success, you're going to look at different opportunities like, well, that's not going to produce my desired outcome.
Right.
So, you know, that,
Like,
that
even though I can relate to that too, because like I treat what I'm doing as it's going to be big, right? So like,
yeah,
like right now, like this podcast, who knows, maybe in a few years we look back at this and we're doing it again or something, but we're bigger, you know,
no,
it's,
I agree.
I agree with that. I think that's a cool concept. Like with my online business, a lot of not a lot, everything has been thought out, to like the name, to the color, like so many things. And it's
Right.
because I'm looking at it as like a big thing, even though
Exactly.
to this point I haven't, sold anything yet. But yeah,
Hey, it's that process.
it's the process. You have to embrace the process too. As cliche as it is, I've realized it's true.
I mean, honestly, like for real, honestly, it's real, man. Like you have to just do it for the process.
For real though.
Like not for the results, the goals, and the end goal. You just have to always approach the stuff from the process. Like you always have to just want to do it. Like it's we start looking like we make vision boards and we look at the vision board, but then forget that. Like for myself, making music is I love making music, so I'm not gonna stop making music.
Right.
It's like that's the goal for me to sit down in front of the piano or something like stuff like that.
No, I got you, but it's crazy because I've realized a lot in the last year about that too. And it's like so many people think it's the outcome, it's the money, it's this, that. What I've realized is not about the fucking money. It's about, for me, I could be different for others, but for me it's about helping people in doing what I want to do. Now hopefully my goal is to combine the two so I can make money. But in the end of the day, what I realized is like, if you handed us, or not even me, if you handed most people $1 million right now, they're not going to be like, here's $1 million, life's over, I'm happy. It's like, how can I get better?
Yeah,
And
that's
that involves the process.
the process. That's it right there. We get to 1 million, we got to go past 1 million just because we perfect.
You sell 10, you sell 10 hats now, you want to sell 20.
Exactly.
It's crazy. So, but touching on that too, what I've realized too a lot about just how the world works and how life works is like, that's just life. I mean, life is growth.
It is.
So we die. But like, look
Right.
at a fucking tree, dude. Does it just stop growing?
Never. I heard a quote. I don't know who it came from, but it was like a tree is never stagnant. It's either growing or it's dying. Like,
Yeah.
but the trees we see are always rising up or they decaying. So it's like, why are we not doing that?
We should be. I think we live in a weird time. I mean, a good time, but a weird time as far as like we have the luxury of like literally sitting on a podcast right now. Like we're not out fucking searching for food.
Right.
So it's interesting to see like how things go. And then I will say a lot of people, in my opinion, are like trapped into that like comfort zone where like they just want to watch Netflix or they just want to.
Because it feels so good, man. Like like that comfort zone feels so. It's just like you
Comfort.
be there. Like
But I've actually in the last year I've gotten or trying to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
I know.
It's crazy, dude.
Is I'm like I'm saying what you were saying. Like I'm at this point where when I start getting comfortable, I start feeling all types of discourse. Like, oh shit, I need to do something because I'm too comfortable.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get better at it. Like for me lately, because of like riding the waves with the business and like I've been in a little slump a little bit, like I've been like reverting back to say like gaming more than I want to.
I feel you. Me too.
But bro, for me, it's like, I will say it's
About
enjoyable.
games right now.
What?
I thought about games like it ran around by my mind right now.
Yeah. But what's crazy is like it's different for me. Like it used to be like when we were at Durango, I would sit and play fucking, Rainbow Six for 6 hours or
All
whatever.
day. Not
And
even
all day. And there would be no second thoughts. And now I can't. I mean, no, I shouldn't say that. I have done it, but when I do, I get mad at myself.
yeah,
Because
exactly.
I'm like, I'm just doing the same shit over and over.
But I will say one thing, man. It's like even though you get mad at yourself,
You can't.
you can't
Always.
because you have taken so many steps away from that. You
Right.
know, it's the process of breaking them habits. It's the process of seeing what the habits that we don't want that we do want, and you say you was gaming for 6 hours, so I would assume that you're a video game connoisseur like myself.
Yeah.
Like it's really like I could be on the game for 8 hours and really not even time is like not existent. So it's
For
like
sure. No, but
going.
that's the thing. Like now, well, you can hear me. I think I clicked. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, I clicked mute on accident. That's the thing though, is like what I've realized is it is the process of quitting it. So like for me, I'll use video games for an example. I still play,
Yep.
but now I try and do it in like moderation.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas I'm not perfect, but it's part of the process. I'm better than when I graduated school.
Yeah.
So now I try and be productive, but I've gotten to this point where it's recently like I'm like, dude, you gotta give yourself some leeway.
Choose your battles, man. Shoot.
Yeah. But what I noticed for me in using gaming is like I gamed a lot. So I was gaming a lot up here and then I stopped for like I started like during the week I wouldn't game at all. I did that for a few weeks. And I noticed I woke up a lot more a lot more refreshed
Yeah.
because the games I play, it's not like I'm just sitting there like I'm fucking thinking
It's turned up games.
at a
Yeah.
high speed. So what I realized is I was working from like 9 to 6, working out in there, and then
Mm-hmm.
coming home, either working out after work or during lunch, and then I'd come home and game for 2 to 3 hours at night, or I'd work on my other business for a little bit and then game. So it's like my mind was going nonstop.
Mm-hmm.
So now, like even last night, I wanted the game, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna get off because like I need to relax.
No, that's that. That's that power. You increase your power to tell yourself no.
Yeah, I'm getting better at that too. At like eating bad foods, I used to just like my dad would hand out everything, and I just crush it.
I was the same way. Everybody. I'll be in my house and my family be like, Jordan, eat everything in this motherfucker. So, it's just here. Here you go. Here you go. Leftovers here. So whose leftovers are these? All right, mine. Like
Yeah,
I'll take them. And then it's like, oh, let me think about my actions more rather than just kind of
doing it.
reacting to it. But
No, definitely. So yeah, no, the process, you definitely have to embrace it no matter in anything. All right, switching it up a little bit. So for people who don't know, because most people probably don't, you and your business partner, I think, wrote a book, right?
yep.
So first off, I read that book when I was on the beaches in Mexico. It was pretty
Yeah,
dope.
that's what's up. Yeah.
I need to read it again because I was drinking daiquiris all day.
I mean, that's what it's for, man. Like,
No, it was good though. It was good in the moment, and now I just don't remember everything. But what I was gonna say is, yeah, I want to read it again.
drinks.
What, bro? I was going, yeah, chick drinks for sure, dude. I was on the beach. I was like, hey, I ain't drinking beer. I ain't drinking whatever. I was going with the beach vibe.
Hey, that's good. Hey, alcohol on the beach might be one of the best combinations on this life experience.
To be honest, I will say I think I was getting judged that I was only ordering strawberry daiquiris.
That's all good. Fuck it.
I don't care. I'm just saying, like it was a good time. I didn't get too drunk, but
Tequila shots.
if I was there with friends, yes.
Oh
But
no.
I was with my aunt and my uncle,
Oh no, you're good.
They drink, but yeah, it was just not the tequila shot environment.
I feel it. I feel it. I feel
I
it.
save that for next year or
Nah,
next time I go.
for sure, for
But
sure.
no, back to the book. So, what was the process like writing that? Was it hard?
Um, it it was just you got discipline. Like you just gotta be consistent. I mean, it helped playing sports and shit. Um, it helped playing sports because I was able to discipline myself. But at Fort Lewis, I would just go to the library every day, type something, type words of thoughts that come from my head from a topic that I place, and it was just kind of like constantly getting to that place where I enjoy writing. You know,
So
you know.
when you first went to the library, was it planned that you were writing a book, or you would just jot shit down?
It was probably just jot down because
Oh,
honestly, I don't remember any like, I'm gonna make a book.
right.
It's kind of like I'm gonna start writing.
But for no reason, just to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because I read a lot. I read extreme a lot, and it's like I kind of just had all that stuff in my head, just and applied it to my own life. So it's kind of like journaling. You
Yeah.
know,
I need.
honestly, it's really like journaling. Like like so many people could be authors if they just journaled, structured it, and sold it. You know what I mean? Like,
Journal structure. Yeah, no, I like that. I like that.
like really, because it's a life experience, that nobody else has experienced. So it
I'm
helps.
writing that down. Journaled, structured, sell it.
Journal starts for sale.
No, but that's good because, like, for me, I've been thinking about writing shit down
Mm-hmm.
more, and I haven't. And the reason why is I read a lot too, and some articles I read they talk about like when you write shit down, you get it out of your head, which
Right.
clears up space for other things to come in.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
one. Like today, I got a bill for my electricity, and I just paid it right away. I used to pay everything right away, and then like lately, I kind of been slacking. But now I'm just like paying it all right away just to get it out of my head instead of being in my head. You know, it's fucking there and it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. But yeah, no, yeah, the reason I ask is because I think I mentioned to you at some point, but like I'm looking. Well, I've started to write a book about dog training, but it's like same shit. It's just jotting things down on
Right.
a Word doc, and I haven't really edited it for like a year now. But um, yeah, same stuff. You know, I just get ideas, jot them down, and then hopefully, not hopefully, one day we'll elaborate and
And
journal
you'll
structure. So
help somebody with, training their dogs and making, the dogs a real for real best friend, like,
for real, man, crazy
yeah.
stuff. Because when you do train them, if you don't know, like the bond you build with them is like I got my dog right now. Right now he's chilling, but I'm about to unleash the beast when we get out of here. But
I got you.
yeah, but dude, it's like it's crazy. Like we work a lot, and he loves it, I love it, and now we're at the level where like he he messes with me just to see what he can get away with,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's all fun and games though. Like he's looking at me, fucking tongues out,
yeah,
and he's just looking like, yeah, it's cool, but it's fun to work with him. So,
yeah,
anyways, yeah. So, anyways, with the book, I think eventually that will happen, and it will help a lot of people out, man.
yeah.
There's the more I learn about this stuff and like the guys I'm surrounded with, like the mentors I have in training, it's wild. Like
Mm-hmm.
I could talk to you for hours and you're going to be like, huh? You know, it's
Yeah,
just like, they tell me so much stuff. I forget it. You know,
yeah,
it's like, it's crazy.
yeah.
All right. Let me see. I got a couple notes about your book. So if I remember right, didn't you do some kind of like event for when it first came out or something?
Chicago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It was here. What was that like?
So Arthur really set it up, but it was, we got a venue. Um, and we really just kind of promoted the book and talked about the topics in the book and kind of what we wanted to see from the book moving forward. It was kind of like you said, we kind of just jumped into it, not really knowing exactly what we need to do. So we did that, and honestly, from a business standpoint, we were supposed to do it in LA, and like you said, running all these different types of hats, it gets difficult.
Yes.
So, that still hasn't happened. But that it was just the one in Chicago was big for us from a personal achievement standpoint. you know, like for us
Yeah.
to do something, but now it's time to scale.
Next level.
Next level scale. You know, Bob Proctor, Earl Nightingale, like type stuff. Like they've been around like classics.
Right.
You know, so.
No, but yeah, I mean, that's, you got to start somewhere, like that's like, one of my buddies, like decided he wanted to get into public speaking, and then he got into like events and competitions, and he got in like second place, and like he just started somewhere,
Yep.
and then see where it goes. So at that book sale then, was that more like people you knew? I know I was going to go, but I couldn't make it, but or is it?
It was people we knew, kind of people we, kind of maybe people we didn't really know.
Acquaintances and stuff.
Maybe acquaintances, like maybe somebody we met on social medias, or things
Right.
like that, or somebody might have met once, or coworkers or something like that.
Yeah, just like mutual friends kind of thing.
Mutual friends, not a cold market, a really warm market.
Right.
Yeah, we just just kind of shout out our contact list, and try to get people there, and just
Nice.
try to make it as big as possible.
Did a lot of people buy the book there then, or how?
Most of the people bought the book there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That probably felt good.
It does, it does. But then all that, inside it's like, I want to do better. I want to do better. I want to do better. Well, how can I do better? So.
No, I mean, that goes back to the process. So speaking of doing better, then is that like, do you guys plan on writing more books, or like expanding that one, or?
We got the Guide to Rare 2 coming.
Oh, nice.
We got the 1, we got the 2. We're gonna have them shits like John Wicks.
There you go. There you go. So, are these books gonna be like, your second one was like what, like 50 pages or something, or
it was maybe 48 or something like that, but it was really a short book just to get people like, okay, I read a book, so let me read another one.
No, but I think that was a good thing, because you could like I sat down and read it in like an afternoon. I think. Yeah. So that's a cool concept. But did you publish it yourself? I forget if we said,
it was through a business partner. Another business partner was published. I kind of met him randomly out of the it just kind of happened.
Right.
Like,
things happen for a reason.
I needed somebody to publish books, and he published books. It was kind of like random.
Yeah.
But went through that, published books. So it's just kind of a lot. That kind of, that's one thing I say just kind of like was aligned. It was random. It was kind of like out the grace of, God and everything. So it was just kind of, thank you. Appreciate it.
But I think that stuff happens for a reason, Like I met a girl at the airport on that Mexico trip, and like now we still talk, and like she's got her own like yoga business, and like she actually hit me up today, asking me some stuff about my dog stuff. So it's crazy, like you never know who you're gonna meet and what they're gonna, like even us, like we always talked about, like staying in touch, because like who knows,
Right. Where else we have the technology to stay connected now. And that's the crazy thing. That's another element of life that our ancestors ain't experienced. Like,
Well, technology has not only changed all of our lives, but for me, it's really changed my life. And the fact of that I got mentorship through how we're talking right now on Zoom. I have still yet to meet one of my mentors, like in person. But that man has changed my life.
I feel you. I definitely understand what you're saying. Like,
and that all stems back to Instagram, like it was because of Instagram. And Carly tagged me in one of his posts, and then he sent me it, and I was like, damn, this guy's got some good shit. I checked him out, started talking, and then like I'm getting mentored by him, man. And we talked about things that we've worked on, but like with funnels and stuff, and how I said you could benefit from them, but like, yeah, it's crazy. And like now we're here on this podcast, and you could sell shit online, and I get amazed by that. I think about that stuff, like sometimes I'll sit down and be like, dude, the opportunities that we have.
They're all around, man. We just got to change. We just got to keep
going. And that's one thing though. And then we're getting here, probably wrap it up soon. But like when I hear people unhappy, their job or whatever, it's hard to give people advice because I found they don't really listen unless they're,
At all.
nah, dude. Like, unless they're willing. Like, if you come ask for me, then I'll give you advice, but I'm kind of done, like, trying to help you because it's just a waste of time.
It really feels like
It is. I mean, it's, to be straight honest, it is. But where was I going with that? I just lost my train of thought.
But you're saying like people, trying to give advice to people,
Give
like
what?
you said, trying to give advice to people is a waste of time. Like,
I know, but I just totally lost my train of thought. Giving advice to people. I hate when I do this.
oh,
I was going somewhere good with it, dude. I was giving advice. Oh, yeah. So, like, we live in a world where, social media, the internet is so powerful. Like, if you are unhappy in your desk job or whatever you do, try taking, for instance, you with music, or for me with dog training, or for Steve down the street might be like crafts and arts and crafts. Like,
yeah,
take that shit online, man. I mean, yeah, we've talked about it's not easy, but you do not live in any better time
to do it.
to do something. You know what I mean?
You have the freedom to be yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like
Crazy.
you don't have to live under no restrictions. You don't have to live under, the lack of technology. You can do whatever you want to do because it's not like. And then I'm gonna just say something right here. It's like even from the standpoint of music, from the standpoint of art, from the standpoint of different businesses, it's really, man, it's not so much like, oh, this been ordained or selected from the heavens. Like, no, it's just the work that you put in. Like, you could have a mediocre talent for music or a mediocre talent for training, you know what I mean, communicating with dogs or whatever it is. But if you learn how to successfully create a system, that is effective, you'll be more successful than anything, like anybody who with the best talent and zero know-how.
No, that's dead on, man. And that's kind of what I've learned and realized too, is, I used to go train dogs, for instance, for me, and like come home and like, I couldn't wait till work was done. Now I'm like, half the time I stay after work and train my own dog, dude. Like, now it's at the point where I'm like, I don't want to say obsessed, but like, I love it. Like, probably like you, like making music. Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to teach my dog new things, and it's fun for me to teach him. I'm teaching an animal, and for him to do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I definitely think that's cool. Talking a few seconds ago, you said something about like being yourself and stuff. Would you, I mean, I guess, we don't talk too much anymore, but I feel like you were always kind of like yourself as far as with the, we create the rules, Rarity Lifestyle kind of thing.
Yeah.
Were you always like that, or when did you kind of get to that?
I mean, that was kind of something I carried with me since I was young.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
just like, just kind of, just kind of always, just confident in who I was, man. Understanding that, that the idea that nobody's better than anybody, but then the confidence you have for yourself is the confidence that's where that's where you're gonna lay on the totem pole.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's like,
No, I agree.
understanding that nobody is better than you and you're better than nobody, but everybody doesn't see it that way.
Right. But if you had to give like a piece of advice to someone, who say isn't totally confident in themselves, what would you say to like help them realize that? Because that's something that I've realized too,
Advice I'll give to somebody is like, honestly, the person you think knows everything doesn't know shit. So everybody's out here really freeballing and shit and really trying to figure it out. So you're on the same level as everybody. Some people just believe in their dream more than others.
No, I agree. And that's, yeah, like you said, a lot of people, like me, I knew a lot about training, but I knew I didn't know shit compared to my mentor. And having that open mind, man, it just makes you learn.
Yeah.
I've ran into so many people that think they know everything, and that's when you're dumb. Maybe I shouldn't say dumb, but what'd you say?
It's doomed. Like, you're putting yourself in such a closed box.
Yeah.
Like, we're taking a stance of not knowing anything is the best way because you always want to learn.
It's crazy though. It's so true. Like, last year I learned what a hook was. I didn't know what that was in music, you know. My
Yeah.
friend was producing music. We were drinking tequila that night we were there, and
Huh?
we woke up and he made like a dope ass song that
Yeah.
night. He stayed up till like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And they're talking about the hook. I'm like, what's the hook?
The
And then he
hook.
explained it, and it's like now it opened my eyes to just new things, you know. It's crazy. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm always trying to learn.
Always trying to learn. That's I was even listening to Robert Kiyosaki. You know, he's Robert Kiyosaki's been out here active.
Who is
He's
that? I don't know who that is.
Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Oh, I'm listening to that right now.
So he's like, he's still active on YouTube. Like he got, he's still trying to educate us. He's still trying to educate us and stuff. And it's like, man, like, he understanding all those principles and
Dude, that book's fire.
the fire, man, is extremely, he's still trying to preach the principles. That's why it's like,
But that's all it is. What I've realized, it's all the principles.
principles,
And
man.
that's like just how I explain things and how I train dogs and just how I explain things to people in general about business. I've realized for me, it's like a principle of it. And if you can keep your mind open and relate to like the sports example that you were talking about, you know, dedication and the fact that you have to be at practice every day at 6 a.m. and then you got to lift at noon and then you got to eat a team dinner and study or whatever. Like if you can stick to that, why can't you stick to it for business, you know?
Right.
So that's definitely something I learned.
But that, even when you were saying the football stuff, was like, so I'll tell you this, and I feel like it's a big point. For football, even at Michigan State, to be at that level, we got up at 5:30, right? We worked out at 5:30. We went from classes from 9 to 2, 5:30, 7, shower, eat, all that stuff. 8:30, go to 9 o'clock class, 9 o'clock to 12, 12 o'clock to 2:30 to 2:30. We go to practice. We get on the field 3 o'clock. We have practice till 6:30. When you're done leaving this facility is 7. Then you gotta go home and actually you don't go home. You go to the student center because you got tutoring. And if you don't go to tutoring, they charge you $10 every day. It's every time you don't show up for tutoring, they charge you $10. So you think about it from a 5:30 and you get done at the tutoring probably like 10 o'clock. So 5:30 in the morning to 10 p.m. That amount of work gets you college level athletics. So what do you think gets you professional athletics?
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. Like even pursuing football and almost being at that professional level and choosing not to keep going just because of injuries and stuff, but understanding like it takes a lot of work in any industry, and whether it's music, whether it's training, whether there's anything, like you got to put professional work in to get professional results.
That's what people don't realize, in my opinion. They
Mm-mm.
want the results without the work.
That's not gonna happen.
No, but wouldn't you agree?
I definitely agree. Even to the I'm gonna add something to that. They want the results, and they feel entitled to the results. You see that they feel entitled to the results, so they speak as if they are on the level they think they are.
Right.
But they want to be, but
Right.
it's completely the opposite.
Yeah. That's what do you follow Gary Vee?
Gary Vee, yeah.
He says, what does he say about entitlement? He's like, you know, no entitlement, or he says it in a different way, but
He said something, yeah.
yeah, like entitled, if you're like you're not entitled to shit, I think he says. No one, I'm not, he says like, I'm not talking about himself. Like no one's entitled to shit. And once you realize that if you have open mind, it can change your perspective on how you do things. Cause the fact that you, me, anyone doesn't deserve whatever more than the next guy. But if
Right.
you put in the work in the music, or I put in the work in training, or I put in the work in this podcast, or edit, whatever the hell it is, like it's going to pay off eventually. I mean, shit, if you don't make it in music or whatever, like you're going to learn how to do this and you produce music for someone else or whatever.
Right.
It's all like a thing, right? Like if my dog training business doesn't work, I've learned how to make websites, edit videos, do this, do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's crazy, but yeah, I don't definitely expect anything or I guess expect anything. I just kind of go with it. And that's another thing I'll say is one thing I've learned is when you like do business without expecting anything in return,
Right.
like it, it's, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but it's good. Um,
I know it's a lot less stressful. I know that.
yeah. Well, like what I'm saying is, so for instance, like I train dogs, I help people out, whatever. Like I don't expect anything from, like I gave someone a huge break, which I never do. And I don't expect anything from that person.
Right.
Going into that mindset, I have now learned so much because the dog that I'm dealing with has all sorts of like aggressive issues that I never dealt with before.
Right.
Now I've learned how to do it. And going in with that open mind as to like, I'm gonna just take this on and not expect shit in return. It's already paid dividends, you know?
Yeah. No,
So I think when you do that as far as business,
mm-hmm.
to a certain extent, it can be very beneficial.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, well, let's see what else. Do we have? I think that was pretty good. Touching back to your business or brand, whatever we want to classify it as. So for people who are listening, you said it's kind of an umbrella of things. So we touched on music, we touched on clothing, we touched on your book.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that I'm missing?
I mean, just from a standpoint, I feel like it's important for everybody to understand. It's just like understanding how to structure businesses. So if you want to be an investor and and you probably know what I'm talking about. If you want to be an investor and like creating millions and wealth and foundational wealth, you have to have the structure of like investing in business. Ideas is in my mind, investing in gold, commodities and stuff
Right.
like that. So I'm creating this umbrella so everything would be under my brand, my corporation that I recently incorporated. So,
Oh, nice.
So for athletics, definitely personal training, because I do personal training.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too. I always see you posting videos in your garage or some shit.
Yeah, it's personal training, man. I just want to be always, I just want people to always just be ready to be, just physically their best self. You just never know when you gotta show up.
You gotta feel good. I mean, you gotta feel good though. Like if I say your body's like a car.
Yeah.
So when you treat your car, when you run it and you make
like
it work,
body, right?
Like it's gonna operate at its highest capabilities, which then lead you to work long days or work a long day and then go out after or do these things.
Exactly, and that's the thing, right? But what you just said is kind of, I'm just trailing off what you said. That's the level up. That's the level up. Understanding that your lifestyle is not giving you enough energy to sustain 20-hour days. Some professionals out here sustain 20-hour days. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to do that, of course, but sometimes it calls for it. But because they take care of their bodies, they eat good, they supplement whatever they need to supplement, and they understand that part of it keeps you going.
It's real though.
Yeah, like, so that's definitely a part of my personal training business, like making sure people start to love working out because it makes them stronger overall, like gives you more energy. It makes you your self-esteem go up. Like you only got to look in the mirror. You just know, like, I feel better, I feel stronger, I feel just good.
No, it's true. But one thing I will say too on that is about the personal training and feeling good and all this stuff is like what really bothers me is, and it takes a lot to bother me, but when I see people at the gym that I know and they're like, I really don't want to be here right now. I'm like, don't fucking talk to me. I'm serious. Because today, one of my brother's friends or family friends said that to me, and I didn't call him out on it because I'm not on that level with him. But if it was my good homie, I've told people before, they come up to me like, just people I know from the gym, they're like, I don't want to be here. I'm so tired. I got no energy. I was like, get away from me.
Exactly.
Like, I say it in a nice way, but I'm serious. Huh?
Toxic. I said toxic.
Yeah, like I ain't trying to have them like, try and steal kind of like bring my energy down. But where I'm going with that is if you can learn, if someone's listening to this who doesn't like the gym or doesn't like working out, like find something you like. I used to fucking hate sprinting. I hated it. I listened to this audio book, David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me.
David
Great.
Goggins is a monster.
Did you listen to Can't Hurt Me?
No, I haven't heard.
His,
I haven't
bro,
read
you
it.
got to listen to his book, bro.
Yeah.
Crazy shit. But anyways, he talks about doing shit you hate to overcome it. So I did, not sprinting. I love sprinting. Long distance running. So I started doing it, bro. And after a few times, I like it now. I mean, the goal was to run 1 lap, which is like a mile around this track. The first time I did it, I ran 2. So then for like a month or 2, every time I'd run 2 miles. And then I called my buddy up one day. We went to run, and the goal was to run 2 miles. We ran 6, but it wasn't planned, man. It was just like we were talking like this, and we looked at each other. We're like, dude, let's fucking keep going. And my point is like we hated something, we now don't mind it, and then we exceeded our own expectations.
Exactly. And then you enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's an accomplishment.
It is. It definitely is. I can even relate that to reading, for people. Like, some people be like, I don't read. You gotta start.
That used to be me, man. 2 years ago, I didn't read.
And then it's like, I'll ask you, like, what did you read before?
What do you mean? Before I started to read?
Yeah, like I'm saying, like, you don't like reading. Like, what kind of stuff were you
reading?
You
ask them. I got you.
Like, what kind of stuff were you reading? Like, well, I was reading like some nonfiction books, some fiction books, some, Harry Potter's, and that's cool and stuff. But like, are you reading? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Not taking not like entertainment, like
not entertainment, right.
Is that the way I look at it? Is like reading a Harry Potter book or whatever is no different than watching a Netflix show.
And I feel the same way.
I'm not saying it's bad. That's fine if you like that.
Right.
What I will say too is lately I have, like, instead of being like always trying to read educational shit, I've come to the point where, like, lately now at night, like when I'm in bed, I'll put on like a Netflix show, like Ozarks lately.
Good, yeah.
And the reason why is because I want to read about self-improvement and stuff, but I'm literally just like tired at night. So I want my mind to be like not trying to learn 24/7. Like I want to like have, you know what I mean?
I do. It definitely is important. And then you could, another addition to doing that is like just feeding your imagination, just kind of feeding your imagination that you can use what you kind of see in the movie or the show or the TV or the YouTube or whatever, and kind of add to your own, like just on that aspect, kind of like you said, giving yourself a break.
Yeah. And then actually what I've started to do too is not only do I meditate, but I'll literally just, like, my version of meditate is like different. I don't know if it's the right way, but it's my own. Dude, literally like very basic. I haven't like researched anything or anything. I just go to YouTube. I type in meditation music. I pull up a good one. I turn my computer brightness all the way off. I lay on my back and I just sit there and breathe for like 30 minutes to an hour.
That's good. That's definitely good. That is definitely good. So it's like doing that, it's like, all right, so you're really learning how to, center yourself and actually tap into that inner self,
That's what I've learned though. Yeah.
You tap into your inner self. It's like, I went into the point of like, there's books. Like I have this book called the Toolkit to Meditations. When you center yourself, you kind of start asking yourself questions.
Right.
This is kind of the part of kind of healing yourself and making yourself better. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I'm writing this down. Toolkit to Meditations.
The Toolkit to Meditations.
Yeah.
But it takes you through questions of your lifetime experience and, just trying to become your better self. Like, what is keeping you from your better self?
Right.
That helps you kind of meditate on.
No, it's crazy though. What I've realized, did I cut you off?
No, go ahead. No.
What I was gonna say, what I've realized in this is like, I'm not always 100% perfect on my breathing, but when I really focus on the breathing, it gets a lot better. When I don't, it's still fine. But like when I really go like and take deep breaths every few seconds, like going into that inner self is is wild. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, bro.
Peaceful. It really is peaceful. It's like, I mean, if we talk about this, like, it might be different experiences, but it's like at the center of it is real peaceful. You just kind of in a quiet space. You could be.
Sometimes
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, going back to Joe Rogan and his I don't know if you've seen the one with Jesse Itzler.
I might have.
He's an entrepreneur. He started like some kind of coconut water.
I might have. I don't remember that one.
Well, if not, you have to, because he goes and lives with monks for 3 weeks, or no, a week.
Okay.
A week or 2 weeks. I think it was a week. Whatever it was, dude. He went to go live with monks, and all they do is apparently meditate.
Wow.
And he talks about the experiences and how crazy it is. But what he talks about is kind of what you're talking about, which I'm going to touch on, is the fact that, like, when you're in that, I don't know the word, I don't know the meditation word, but when you're in that, like, zone or whatever of meditating.
Basically, like that real center where you're
Yeah,
centered.
when you're centered or whatever it's called, like, you are, like, at peace, like you said. Sometimes it makes me wonder. It's like, dude, like, we go through all this madness all the day to build a business, to build a brand, but it's like, fuck, dude, I just sit in a fucking bed and breathe all day. And like,
You feel good.
but no, I'm saying those monks though, like, they love it, apparently, per what he says.
It's like, even from that standpoint, and I'm not really speaking from experience or even knowledge, but it's like, I mean, they enjoy the ability to control that, control themselves as, they control their mental, control their breathing, kind of focus on what they really want to focus on. I know personally.
Which is nothing though. And that's the thing, the focus on nothing.
To focus on, right, to just be nothing. You know what I mean? It's
Just be
like,
present.
just be present. Like everything that's going on right now is the only thing that we care about. Not we formulate these ideas and stuff in our heads and trying to figure out what is what and how is what, and stuff in our mind makes us happy, makes us sad, makes us everything. But it's like really everything in the moment is of importance.
Yeah.
Even from the standpoint of, we can take it back to football. If I'm thinking during the football game, I'm not playing as well as I can be.
Right. Yeah, the
But
best.
if I'm in the moment, I'm not thinking and just playing in that center, I'm playing the best game I can play.
No, that's a good analogy. I can
Mm-hmm.
relate to that in basketball. Like when I play at the gym, if I'm thinking about shit, I'm like, I'm not great. But when I'm in the zone, when I'm not thinking and just reacting.
Exactly. Playing well. And it's like sometimes we have a game from both sides. It's like we have a game from thinking. You were like, damn, why am I not playing as well? But then you have a game when you're not thinking, you don't even thinking about playing bad. It's just you just playing. So it's kind of like,
You don't even realize how good you're doing sometimes.
exactly. And giving yourself the credit.
Yeah. No, it's good stuff. But yeah, no, the meditation, definitely I'm a big fan of that. And like, even actually I just I actually haven't meditated for like a week, which I was kind of getting mad at myself because I've been doing it every day for like the last month before that.
Yeah.
But right before we hopped on, I got off work at 6. I got home at 6:15. I set my timer for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I just did that. And what I found is, like, after a long day, or if I need more energy, a lot of times I'll come home at work at 6. I'll be kind of tired or run down. I'll meditate for 20 to 45 minutes, and then I'll go lift. And that right there just like sparks me, bro. Have you ever tried that, doing it before you lift?
I haven't, man. Like that actually is a good one. I sometimes I do listen to meditations while I'm lifting.
Oh, I haven't done that.
Yeah, so that actually kind of, especially in the morning, because I like getting up and listening to a meditation. I actually, recently last week, I made my own meditation. So it's kind of like, just empowering myself.
Is it you talking though?
Yeah, I recorded it on my whole softwares in it, like that I use to make music.
So
And
what do
so
you do? Just say like, because the meditation that I listen to, it's just beats, or not beats, but sounds.
So, like, even right going through the meditations, there's like different meditations. So, like those guided meditations,
Got you.
that's
Yeah.
what I listen to a lot. So, this is kind of the guided meditation of one, understanding that I got to get present. So, taking myself through like a body scan, understanding like how I feel in my head and my hands and my arms, and then coming through back and then going through like a mental standpoint, like who am I? You know what I mean? Who am I? Like, what am I doing? What am I confident about? What I need to get better at? Where is my life going? And just growing that confidence within myself in my meditation. So a guided meditation through who I really, truly want to be. So just trying to, I'm really experimenting and seeing,
How it goes.
how it
Well,
goes,
that's cool, man. I might
Yeah,
have to check that out too. That's cool.
for sure. I would recommend it because I've been doing it for a week and I already feel, you
Cause
know, mhm.
go ahead, go ahead. You already feel what?
I just feel just way more sure in, even with the music, like
Yeah.
I feel so confident in calling myself a music producer and musician, like even after a week, like
No, I think that's a good idea because, yeah, just like subconsciously kind of
exactly.
developing that and like, yeah, I don't know. I think that's a good idea because,
Programming
yeah,
ourselves,
what'd you say?
like programming ourselves.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Cause like a lot of what we're doing or what we're trying to do, like, improving and shit is programming your mind to think certain ways and do certain things. So it's like,
Right.
if you can tap into it at your most relaxed state and analyze and tell yourself, like, hey, like you're doing good, or I don't know how you word it, but like, you're on the right direction to be the next
Right.
music producer or the next dog trainer or whatever. Like, I think that's a good idea. I might have to check that out.
You should, bro. You definitely like.
But yo, you should check. Well, I know, when do you usually work out?
Um,
Or does it vary?
I mean, honestly, I'm disciplining myself to work out in the mornings just because
Okay.
it gets harder in the day for me.
Right. Actually, I was a little bit, well, I cut myself some slack because I didn't feel too great, but I told myself that this morning I was going to wake up at 6 and lift. And I woke up, I had right here, I had my headphones and my pre-workout, so I couldn't like make an excuse, but I ended up not, just because I didn't feel too great, but I was going to try the whole morning thing.
But yeah, just figuring out that time. It's like once everything really is moving, I plan to be at the same place at the same time for years. Honestly,
Yeah.
like I plan to be waking up at whatever 6:30 or 7 or 6 o'clock and be working out every day or every 5 days out of two, or like
Yeah.
creating that foundation for life.
No, that's a good way to look at it. I mean, and that's what I've started to do, but going back to the process, it's part of the process. I'm not perfect at it, but it's like waking up early. Like, I need to wake up earlier. If I want to do what I want to do, I need to wake up earlier. I need to play less video games. I need to whatever, I'm serious. Like,
I feel you on the video games.
whatever it is, it's like if I want to run a business, I can't be playing 4 hours of video games on, like, I don't know, on a certain day or whatever.
Unless you're gonna put the same amount of time in. It's like if you're gonna put 4 hours in the game, I look at it like this: if you're gonna sit there and put 4 hours in the game, you better go ahead and put 9 hours into your business. Like,
No, and that's the foundation that you're talking about that I'm also trying to build.
mm-hmm.
But, like we said, it doesn't just happen overnight.
Yeah.
We got to break certain habits, do certain things, rewire certain things. And also what I would say in my experience is doing all this improvement like we're talking about, plus actually running a business and starting a business, it's a lot.
It's maximum.
It's fucking maximum capacity, man. Like, it's 9 o'clock. We're still going, like, but that's what I like though. I like being busy.
Mm-hmm.
I personally do not like, I can't sit down and like watch a movie or Netflix all day. Like,
Yeah.
I just have to be like doing something.
I definitely, it's that, it's that inner talk. You feel me? It's like that. I need to get something done.
I think it's that need for like fulfillment, like I want to, it doesn't matter. Now I understand why people like run marathons and do all this crazy shit. I used to be like, those people are idiots. And then now I'm like, I understand.
Yeah, you get that fulfillment after.
Yeah. It's a goal.
Yeah.
It's like you saying you want to write a new song. They're like, I want to run a marathon.
Right.
Or whatever it is, man. Like, I want to go to a dance class or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, we're nearing an hour and a half here, so probably going to wrap it up. Do you have anything else we want to talk about?
Well, I mean, we covered a lot, man.
Yeah, we did cover a lot, and we can always do another one.
I don't, I was just kind of really, just going with the flow of it. I didn't really have any prerequisites.
No, dope. One thing I want to touch back on though. So your business, I like the concept of like creating an umbrella so you can like have like, or actually I'm going to pause myself. Creating an umbrella because for those of people who don't know, if you do want to obtain a certain degree of wealth, you need multiple streams of income. So if you have music producer, I'm trying to think of the word, artist of your own, personal training, our author, clothing, like you've got a bunch of different revenues. So say your clothing line totally flops or whatever, like you're not out of job. You still have money from these.
It's like, yeah, it's kind of like, you're right. You never really have to identify with being one thing. You see what I'm saying? You don't really have to, like, for example, being a football player, I related that back to that because that's what I did most of my life. You don't have to identify yourself as just being a football player.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We get put in the box so quick. If I said I was doing music, people are like, all right, he's a musician, and that's it. Like, no, I want people to look at me as a business monster. You know what I'm saying?
No, and I'm the same way. Like, I don't even know what to. I'm actually in the process of creating business cards, and I don't know what to do because I own a business with my family. I have the Crafty Putt, which is my online dog training, and now I have this podcast. We have a snowplow business. It's like, what the fuck I can't write everything down. So, yeah, so I'm the same way. Like, and what I will say too is in the last year of learning all this, like, I love learning now. And it's like, I want to be able to do everything, bro. If you hit me up and you're like, yo, let's make a fucking music video, I can do that. I can take photo, like, you know what I mean? Like, I look at it as like, to do what I want to do, I'm like the man. As far as what I mean by that is like, I am my own man in the way of like, I don't plan to ever work for someone else.
No.
So if this podcast sucks, if my online business sucks, if my family business burns down, like, I have to be able to do something, right? That's how I look at it. So it's like, I'm always hungry to learn more, to do more, because if I can start an online, a video editing business, or creating websites, or eventually I want to mentor and consult people on businesses, like, there's so many different avenues.
No, that's definitely a good thing. Always different avenues, and if you keep learning, you there is no limit. Like, and then the more you learn, right? When you start learning, it's like it's like a bug, right? You start learning, and something you see as you learn, and it works. You're like, oh shit, I'm gonna learn everything.
It's crazy though. Like, I will say, like, even in just like the improvement, or like in the last year, I know I've said the last year a lot, but like of me, like getting into spirituality a little bit, meditation, like, it's wild, man. Like, I used to be so ignorant or arrogant, whatever the word is, like, to the fact that I knew a lot. Now I'm like, I don't know shit.
I don't know shit, and I probably would never will.
No, it's wild, But cool, yeah. No, so that's cool. I'm sounds like the business is doing well, headed in the right direction. So hopefully that keeps going. For people who want to check you out, your website was, what was it?
It's Rarity Lifestyle, RarityLifestyle.com. It's Rarity Lifestyle on Instagram, on Twitter. You can follow my artist page on JBNZO on Instagram.
Cool.
Rarity Lifestyle.
I'll write that in the bio. Cool. Then one thing that I ask a lot of people, well, pretty much everyone, is if you were 18 and graduating high school right now, what would you tell your future self, or your old self, I should say?
Ooh, yeah. All right. What I'll tell my past self?
Yeah. So like, how old are you?
I'm 28.
So you're 28. Yeah. So 10 years ago, what would you tell yourself to like be where you are now?
I would tell myself to just focus on what you love doing. You know what I'm saying? Like really commit to it. Stop. Don't be worried about all the entertainment and stuff that going around you and trying to be this person and that person. Just really focus on what you really love doing. And you know what you love doing. So,
Just
if
focus.
if you focus on what you do, if you was 18, it could be a completely different story now. Like
You could
it
be there. You could have been where you wanted to be.
could have been where I wanted to be, but yeah, that's it. But I wasn't ready for it.
But it goes back to like what we are talking about, the process. Fuck, I wasn't ready for it either. When I was 18, I was doing dumb shit. But
exactly. Like, don't give me what I wanted back then. Don't, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
make you learn the hard way, kind of
make
thing.
me learn the hard way, because if I didn't, it might have been disaster later down the road.
Yeah, no, for real. I mean, I can agree on that. And I just, the whole point of this podcast is to help educate other people, get my word out there, your word out there. So hopefully some young kids listen to this and
Right.
take,
We just need a couple young kids listening to this, and they,
take our 2 cents and,
exactly.
whatever. Cool. All right, guys. Well, before I wrap it up, Jordan, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm Jimmy C., the host of the Instapreneur podcast, guys, and we're going to wrap this one up, and we will see you guys on the next one. Thank you.